Kevin Burke here, and I have the honor and privilege to chat with Seth Davis for a few minutes here. Seth, heading into this tournament, there was a lot of uncertainty. It was unique from years past, whereas it seemed wide open. Has this tournament lived up to your expectations? Has it been what you thought it would have been?
Absolutely. I mean, I try to encourage people not to have expectations, so that's why I feel like it's lived to my expectations because, I think the only thing that we can predict about the NCAA tournament is that it's unpredictable, and I think a lot of people were trying to make the connection between the regular season and the surprising, the turnover at the top of the rankings during the regular season, and say, well, this is going to be the most wide open tournament ever. We're going to have all these mid-majors in there, and it's pretty much gone true to form. I mean, we only have one seed in the Final Four, but that's not particularly unusual, and we have a 9 seed now in the Final Four, and you sort of feel like, in past years maybe that'd be a surprise to people, but nobody is looking at Wichita State and saying, oh my God, this is incredible, like, I can't believe Wichita State's in the Final Four, number 9 seed, how did this happen? I mean, I think with VCU and Butler and George Mason and even Davidson going to the Elite Eight and Gonzaga being a number 1 seed, I think people understand that there's just not that much difference between a 9 seed and a 1 seed. There's not that much difference between the Missouri Valley Conference team and a Big East team. So that's what makes the NCAA tournament unique, is you really do get these underdogs and these Cinderellas with not just happy to beat them, but actually winning games and competing for a championship.
I've got 2 of my 4 still alive. Who was in your Final Four headed in?
I had both 4. You didn't know that? I haven't gotten a prediction wrong yet. I'm surprised you didn't know that.
Oh, wow. No, I missed that. Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Believe me, I'm kidding.
Okay.
My original Final Four, I'm even trying to remember, it was so long ago, was Louisville, Kansas, Miami, and New Mexico. So
okay.
I lost the Final Four team in the first round. That's about par for the course for me. And the only team that I got there in the Final Four is the one that everybody picked. So it's as I say, in this business when you're making predictions, especially about the NCAA tournament, half the fun is being wrong, so I get to have twice as much fun as anybody else.
Understood. I oftentimes jokingly refer to the NCAA tournament as an NBA job interview because sometimes you'll have guys who are relatively unheard of have a great showing and ultimately get drafted as a result of this. 2 guys in particular to me are Khalif Wyatt from Temple and Vander Blue from Marquette. Are there any standout players who weren't really, household names headed in who are now really have a strong shot at the NBA in your opinion?
Well, I guess my inclination would be to say no, only because there's no secrets anymore. You can't hide anybody anymore.
Sure.
The guys who are standing out. I mean, a guy like Michael Carter-Williams for Syracuse has had a terrific tournament, but we all knew that. I think maybe Mitch McGary of Michigan is somebody who has vastly improved over the last few weeks, but I don't know that he's necessarily going to be looking to leave for the NBA. So, these guys really, and I guess someone like myself, we're sort of locked in year-round on college basketball, always looking for NBA draft prospects. So at this point, it's going to be really, really hard to surprise people. But those 2 guys you mentioned, certainly I think Khalif Wyatt is a very intriguing prospect for the NBA because he's a big kid, he's a big guard. He's not necessarily a great pure shooter, but he can certainly make shots. And if he evens out that stroke a little bit, I think he's got a chance to make some money playing basketball because he's got good size and he knows how to score.
Kevin Ware's story is obviously pretty well documented. He'll be with the team in Atlanta this weekend. Do you think he'll actually play a role for his team in terms of being an inspirational leader, or is too much being made out of that?
At this point, it's a great story, but, at this point, everybody's got a cause. Everybody's inspired, everybody's motivated. I don't think that gives Louisville any kind of an edge. I mean, the reality is they now have to play without him. And he is one of their better players and was evolving into a really good role player. So he gives them a little bit less depth at the guard position of Peyton Sealer or Russ Smith should get into foul trouble or maybe being exploited by a bad matchup. Then it just gives Rick Pitino a little bit less of an option back there. But it's been an unbelievable story. As much as I think people reacted to what happened to Kevin Ware, I really believe that the reaction to that story was rooted in the emotional response of his teammates and the love that they have
did Rutgers make the right move in removing Mike Rice as head coach?
I think they had no choice, and the news just broke, by the way, that they also have fired athletic director Tim Fernetti, which comes as a bit of a surprise to me, frankly. I thought maybe he had weathered the storm, but there are a lot of things about this story that bother me. I feel very badly when somebody loses a job, they lose their livelihood. You're talking about husbands, you're talking about fathers, you're talking about real human beings. But I guess I am kind of heartened by the national reaction to that Mike Rice video. I mean, I think maybe that there was a time when people would say, hey, you know, these kids got to be tough, and that's part of coaching, and deal with it. And I think we've gotten to a point as a society where we recognize bad behavior and call it out for what it is. And if this is a warning to coaches in the future at all levels of sports, that this is not the proper way to behave, I think it can be a good thing.
And Seth, finally, you have teamed up and are partnered with Subway to donate looks like 3,000 plus 6-inch sandwiches. What's going on with you and Subway? Fill us in.
Yeah, it's a great program to be a part of and affiliated with. Subway has a special sandwich every month. They rotate which sandwich it is. For $3, it's a 6-inch sub. So to promote that, they're going to donate 3,333 of these 6-inch sandwiches to the local food bank of whatever school sinks the most three-pointers in the NCAA tournament. So right now, LaSalle is in the lead by 1, but Michigan is right behind. So if they get 2 three-pointers tomorrow night, then Subway is going to donate 3,333 of these 6-inch select sandwiches to the local food bank in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So it's a great cause that Subway is doing. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Sounds great. Final question: who wins Monday night?
I'll give you Louisville over Michigan, but as usual, any similarities between what I predict and the actual course of events is strictly coincidental.
Sounds good. Won't hold you to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth. Take care.
I appreciate it. Bye.